Hey everyone, it's Kaylin. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the 7 ways to raise your credit fast in 2020. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and I would greatly appreciate it. Number 1, and probably one of the most important things, is to pay your bills on the due date. Not before they're due, not after they're due, literally pay them on the date they're due. I used to pay things before thinking, okay, I'm gonna get ahead, it's great. They like to see that I'm paying things ahead of time before they're actually due. No, they literally want to see bills paid on the date they're due. I didn't believe this, but trust me, this helped raise my credit score probably 60 points in less than 3 months. Just do it. Number 2, I highly recommend a company called Recredit. They dive into your credit personally and see what you can do to actually help your credit score raise. Everybody's is a little bit different. I've worked with them. It's a little pricey. It starts at $125 a month, goes all the way up to, I believe, $500 a month, but it's totally worth it if you need to buy a house or you need to get your credit up to get that student loan or whatever it is that you need to do to get your credit up. I highly recommend working with them. A lot of times when you go work with lawyers or people who say they can help you raise your credit, it's going to cost you at least $2,000 anyways. So when you do the math, the $125 a month is totally worth it. Recredit also gives you advice on which accounts to get rid of, which ones to hold off on canceling, which to pay down first. They have great advice specified towards you and your needs. And then super important, keep your utilization around 30% always. I keep mine at 29%. I know, super weird, but I always just keep it at 29%. It sucks because you have to pay the interest, but it helps raise your credit. I used to pay off everything every month and it didn't help my credit, and even sometimes my credit went down a few points because I was paying everything off. They want your money. Okay, so number 4, make sure you're exporting all 3 of your credit reports every year. It's free to do, so why not do it? This lets you take a deep dive look into your credit report, see if maybe your social security number is wrong, maybe there's still old addresses attached to your social security, maybe there's aliases that are harming your credit. All those things harm your credit. So it's really important that you pull those reports every year and just make sure everything looks clean. Also, Recredit, if you end up using them, will help you go over these credit reports and they'll see what they can get removed from it to help your credit score raise, such as, like I said, old addresses. That's a huge thing because old addresses, let's say you lived in an apartment complex. Well, typically people who live in an apartment complex don't have the best credit. So when you live in an apartment complex, your credit score tends to go down a little bit. And if that address is still on your report 5 years later, it's not helping your credit score at all. So it's really important to go ahead and get that address removed from your report if you can. Okay, number 6. If you're going to buy large things, such as a car, it can really help your credit if you go purchase it on credit, and then if you have the cash, just pay it down completely, like the next day. So like, let's say you're gonna go buy a camera from Best Buy. Maybe use your credit card to go buy a $1,000 camera, and then just completely pay that down, and it'll really help you and you'll see your credit raise. Not a ton, but it does help raise a good 10-15 points when you do these kind of things. Unless it is a car, you'll see a huge increase in your credit. And then the 7th and final thing is to put all your payments on automatic payments. I know I like to think I always remember to make my credit card payment on the date it's due, but I'll be honest, sometimes I just forget. So no matter what, I always make sure that the minimum payment is being made on auto draft on the date that it's due. Just important because even last month I forgot to pay it, and luckily my auto draft came out and saved me, and then I went ahead and made a payment again the next day so that I could pay what I actually wanted to. But if you don't pay it, you get hit with the late fee and it does harm your credit a little. So really important to just have everything set up on automatic payments, at the bare minimum at least, if you can. So guys, again, like I said, if you really want help with your credit, I would really highly recommend reaching out to Recredit. I know it seems pricey, but it's totally worth it. Having great credit is so important, especially when you're going to buy a house. I would really highly recommend you work on raising your credit and do the things recommended by Recredit. If you have any questions or any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear how you've raised your credit. I will do a video about something that dropped my credit 200 points next week, and hope to see you guys then. Bye.